All right, let's dive in. Today we're looking at all things no-code automation.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got some really interesting sources to work with.
It seems like you're interested in a lot of different things, really.
Definitely.
I've got YouTube videos, articles, make.com, AI, content creation.
hmm
Looks like you're trying to automate everything and maybe even thinking about launching a new business or two.
Well, it's all connected these days.
Yeah, is
No code, AI. It's a
why.
powerful combination.
Exactly.
It's kind of like giving everyone the tools they need to build anything they can imagine online.
I like that. Digital power tools for everyone.
Yeah.
And those make.com videos are a perfect example. It's amazing to see how it connects all those different apps together. It's
Right.
like you've got Google Sheets talking to Facebook ads, and then data's flowing into HubSpot, and Slack's buzzing with updates.
Yeah, it's a whole symphony of automation.
Yeah.
And the real magic happens when you connect specific apps in a way that makes sense for your goals.
Okay, so give me an example.
Well, let's say you're using HubSpot, which is a really powerful CRM.
Okay.
You could connect that to Clearbit, which gives you all this extra information about your contacts, and then use that data to nurture leads in a really targeted way.
Oh, so it's not just about collecting leads
No, it's about building a system that really understands them.
and then uses that information to really deliver what they need.
Exactly.
Smart. It all looks really impressive, all those modules and connections.
Yeah.
I have to admit, it's a little intimidating. I'm not a programmer.
It might seem that way at first,
Yeah.
but that's the beauty of no code. You don't have to be a programmer to use it.
Okay, so walk me through it.
Those modules are really just visual representations of actions and connections. So instead of writing lines of code, you're basically dragging and dropping these building blocks to create your automation.
Oh, okay. So I can build my own automation masterpiece without writing a single line of code?
Exactly. And the possibilities are pretty much endless.
Yeah, I saw that in the videos. Make.com integrates with everything. I mean, Google Apps, Facebook lead ads, Wix websites, HubSpot, Clearbit,
Mm-hmm.
even OpenAI.
It's that flexibility that makes it so powerful.
Right, you can connect pretty much any digital tool you can think of.
Yeah.
And speaking of OpenAI, we should definitely talk about those articles you sent about AI-powered content creation. It seems like we're moving beyond just automating tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're automating creativity itself.
Yeah, it is a big shift.
It does raise some big questions, though.
Of course. I mean, can AI really be creative in the same way that humans are? What are the ethics of using AI to create content?
Yeah, those are some important conversations to have, but maybe for another deep dive.
Yeah, maybe. For now, let's focus on the practical side of things.
Okay, so what stood out to you about those AI tools?
Well, it seems like you were particularly interested in Perplexity, OpenAI, and Claude for generating social media posts.
Right, and I was really impressed by how they can each bring something different to the table.
Right. Perplexity is really good at accessing real-time information.
Okay, so I could use that to, like, monitor industry news
Yeah, exactly.
and then generate up-to-the-minute social media posts about it.
Keep people informed, show them that you're on top of the latest trends, position yourself as an expert.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's say I'm using Perplexity to summarize an article about, I don't know, the latest trends in sustainable fashion. How do I make sure those social media posts sound like me, like my brand's voice?
Oh, that's where prompt engineering comes in.
Oh, right. Prompt engineering. I've heard about that.
Basically, you're giving the AI very specific instructions on what you want it to do.
Kind of like giving a creative brief to a human writer.
Exactly. But
Hmm.
in this case, you're talking to an AI.
That's cool. So it's not just about feeding the AI information, it's about guiding it, telling it exactly what you want it to do with that information.
Right. And the articles you sent emphasize that it's really important to keep your prompts clear and concise.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do I tailor those prompts to make my Twitter posts sound casual and conversational while my LinkedIn posts are more professional?
Well, you can be very specific about the tone and style you want. For example, for Twitter, you might include phrases like, sound like you're chatting with friends,
Hmm.
or use emojis.
And for LinkedIn, I could say something like, write in a professional and informative tone, or emphasize industry insights.
Exactly. You're basically training the AI to understand your brand's voice and adapt its writing style accordingly.
This is really making me think about how we communicate online.
Yeah, these tools are changing the game. But let's get back to the practical side of things. We've talked about the theory. Now let's see how we can use Make.com and AI together to automate your social media content creation.
Yeah, let's break down some scenarios and see how we can put all these pieces together to build something really cool.
Sounds good. So let's imagine you have a Google Sheet.
Okay.
And in this sheet, you're adding links to all those articles, all the things that are relevant to your industry.
Mm.
Sustainable fashion.
Okay, so I'm basically curating a list of all the good stuff that I think my audience would be interested in.
Exactly. And then Make.com comes in, and it's constantly watching that sheet for any new links that you add.
Okay.
And when a new link pops up, boom.
It triggers the next step in the automation.
That's right. And that next step is where we call in Perplexity.
Perplexity, it's time to shine.
Exactly. Perplexity takes that article and summarizes it, pulls out all the key takeaways, all those golden nuggets.
So now we've got the essence of the article, ready to be transformed into social media gold.
And this is where it gets even cooler, because we can use something called routers in Make.com.
Routers. Like my Wi-Fi router.
Not quite. Think of them as traffic directors.
Okay.
So we take that article summary, and the router sends it to different places depending on what we want to do with it.
Oh, okay. So one path might lead to OpenAI to create a tweet, and another path could send it to Claude to craft a LinkedIn post.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we could even have a third path.
Ooh, tell me more.
That goes to DALL-E to create an image for Instagram.
Whoa, okay. So we're creating platform-specific content with images all automatically.
All from that one article summary. But here's where those carefully crafted prompts are super important.
Right. We need to make sure each AI is generating content that fits the platform.
And that it sounds like you.
Right. My brand's voice, my style.
Exactly. So remember those prompt examples we talked about earlier?
Mhm.
That level of detail is key here.
Okay, so for Twitter, we can tell OpenAI to sound like it's chatting with friends, maybe even use some emojis.
Yeah, keep it casual and fun.
Yeah.
And then for LinkedIn, we'd tell Claude to write something more professional, highlighting insights for industry experts.
Right. It's like we're building our own virtual marketing team.
Each one specialized for a different platform.
And the best part is, this whole thing can run completely automatically.
You can set it up to check for new articles, generate posts every day, or even every hour if you want.
Wow, so I could just walk away, go get a coffee, and my virtual marketing team is taking care of everything.
That sounds pretty good, right?
It does, but I guess it's probably a good idea to have some kind of review step, at least at first.
Yeah, I feel
Just to make sure everything's on brand.
Right. But even with a review step, it's still way faster than creating all those posts manually.
No more late nights writing tweets. Now, remember those Make.com videos?
Yeah.
There were some really cool examples of automating internal processes, too.
Right, like using Make.com to convert Trello cards into Google Calendar events.
Yeah, that one was mind-blowing. As someone who lives and breathes by my to-do list, that's a total game changer.
It's all about taking those tedious manual tasks and just making them disappear.
I love the sound of that.
Yeah.
And there was another scenario where Make.com was monitoring a Discord channel
Right.
and then logging requests into a Google Sheet.
That's a great example of how you can automate even the most unexpected things.
Yeah, like I could see that being so useful for managing support tickets.
Or tracking project requests.
Yeah.
Anything where you need to keep things organized and make sure nothing falls through the cracks.
Right. No more scrolling through endless chat logs. Everything's neatly organized in a spreadsheet.
It just makes life so much easier. And when things are organized, your whole team can be more productive.
I'm starting to see how no-code automation isn't just about personal productivity, it's about teamwork, too.
Yeah, you're creating systems that help everyone work together more smoothly.
Which brings up another point. Scalability.
Exactly.
I mean, these Make.com scenarios aren't just for small teams.
No, they can grow and adapt with you.
Okay, so if my business suddenly takes off, I have a team of 100 people, these automations can handle it.
Absolutely. You can add new users, connect more apps. Make.com is built to scale.
Wow, so no-code automation isn't just a way to save time, it's a way to build a better, more efficient business.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
But with so many possibilities, it's hard to know where to start.
You're right, it can be overwhelming. But the best advice I can give is to start with a specific problem you want to solve.
Okay, so if my biggest headache is keeping up with social media.
Then those AI-powered content creation workflows we talked about are a great place to start.
Right, and if I'm just drowning in email, maybe I should look into automating my inbox.
Exactly. Start with what's causing you the most pain or what's most exciting to you.
And those YouTube videos gave us a ton of ideas. We saw how Make.com could be used for lead generation, event ticketing, content creation.
Really, almost anything you can think of. The key is to experiment and find what works best for you.
This is so cool. It's like a whole new world of possibilities is opening up.
It is. And we're just getting started.
So much to think about. We've covered a lot, but where do we actually start?
Right, it can be a bit overwhelming. But remember, no-code automation is all about making things easier for you specifically.
Okay, so let's say our listeners at their desk right now feeling totally swamped. What's one thing they can do today, like right now, to start making things better?
Hmm. Well, I'd ask them, what's that one thing on your list that if it just magically disappeared, you'd be like, yes,
Okay, so like their biggest pain point, the thing that's just draining their energy.
exactly. Is it social media, scheduling, reports? Think about it.
And then look back at those make.com scenarios we saw. I bet there's one that's a perfect fit.
Probably. Maybe it even sparks an idea for a whole new business. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, like that real estate website example. You
Yeah.
could build something like that for any industry. No coding required.
Exactly. That's what's so exciting about no code. It's like anyone can be an innovator now.
Totally. You don't need a fancy degree. You just need an idea and the willingness to try things out.
Hmm. And those YouTube videos were full of inspiration, all those different ways to use Make.com.
I mean, hundreds of apps all connected together. It's amazing.
You can build whatever you need.
Like digital Legos.
Okay.
And those AI tools for content creation, that's a real game changer too, right?
It is. But remember, AI is a tool. It's most powerful when it's working with you, not instead of you.
Okay, so don't just accept whatever the AI spits out. Play with it, refine it, make it your own.
Exactly. You're the expert. You bring the human touch. The AI just helps you do it faster.
And at the end of the day, don't forget about real human connection.
Right. That's what it's all about, making those meaningful connections.
Well, we've explored a lot today, from Make.com and its crazy automations to the amazing power of AI and even what the future of work might look like.
It's a lot to take in.
And we did it all with the hope that our listener feels empowered, ready to take action.
To use these tools to build something awesome.
So here's my final question for our listener. What are you going to create?
What problem are you going to solve?
What story you're going to tell?
The tools are there.
The future is yours. That's it for this Dup Dive.
Thanks for joining us.
Keep learning, keep creating, and we'll see you next time.